What's up, everybody, and welcome back to A Beer a Day with TK. It is a hot day here in Findlay, Ohio. I'm sweltering in the shed, getting ready to check out a new beer. Now, the beer I have today is called Outlaw Light Beer, and this is from Tivoli Brewing Company out of Denver, Colorado. Now, I saw this at the local Circle K. A 12-pack of this was $9.99, and as it's super hot, I figured, what the heck, we'll give it a shot. Light beers are usually not my thing. But when it gets really hot, sometimes it does the job. Now, I was looking at the temps next week. I think the temps for next week was like 100, 99, 98, 98, 99. So it's between 98 and 100 for the entire week. So I'm going to try to do some videos today. It's not quite as bad yet. So this says 105 calories, Outlaw, Mile High Light Beer, Daredevil since 1859, enjoy the gold, punch the pickaxe. Now, I've had one of these Tivoli beers before. When I had I forget what it's called. It was like Colorado Beer Drop. It was a subscription service I have. But I wound up dropping it because I didn't really care for it. But they had a Tivoli beer. Because normally when I see something like this for $10, I think this is probably made by Coors or somebody because it says Colorado. And, it's just some kind of attempt to make us think Coors Light in a different can or bottle is a different beer. But it appears Tivoli is legit. Like I said, when I looked them up, it said microbrewery out of Denver. And the one weird thing was, for being at a Circle K for $10 for a 12-pack, I think there's only about 10,000 check-ins total to this beer. And a lot of them seemed like people were picking up at gas stations, so maybe their distribution just started to blow up. Because I've only seen this in the last few weeks here. 4.2% ABV, so, perfect beer for a warm day. Let's see what it looks like. Ratings-wise, does surprisingly good for a light beer. 3.31 on Untappd. 3.71 on Beer Advocate, which blew my mind. I thought Beer Advocate, oh my god. I gave that a Yeti pour, dude. The one thing I will say about these, I had a couple of them yesterday. I do think that the can comes out a bit explosive when you initially open them. You do get a bit of a rush there, a carbonation rush. Or at least the ones I had yesterday did. Now, this has been sitting in the fridge overnight, so even if it was shaken up from purchasing it or something, you think that it would have settled by now. But, is what it is. I gave it the Anderson pour. I figured the jam jar is the appropriate glass for such a beer. I wasn't going to break out anything too fancy. One thing I will say is for a light beer, that looks pretty decent. Now, from looking at the beer itself, it's pretty clear. You can see right through it. Ton of carbonation there. Ton of carbonation. If I break out the chart, it's on the low end. Maybe a 1 on my Brew HQ SRM chart. It's, light straw, pale straw, whatever you want to call that. Head. I mean, again, I gave it a knobhead pour, but I don't know if you can see it. It's not going anywhere. I mean, this is not subsiding. It's just hanging out there, which is, for a light beer, pretty amazing. Let's give it a sniff. Lightly sweet, maybe a tiny hint of citrus. But again, 4.2% light beer, kind of what I'd expect. Let's give it a shot. Cheers. The body is light. But I will say, even for a light beer, it's not really distracting. It kind of works. It's going to sound weird, but I think with light beers, because the flavors are kind of dialed down, I usually don't mind like a lighter body. But if you start getting other beers that are like darker or heavier and you have that real light body, it kills it. This works for me. It's light, but it's not terribly light. It's okay. As to the flavors, I think you get a couple things going on. And again, none of them are super pronounced, and I don't expect that they're supposed to be. You get some nice crackery malt there. You get a little bit of sweetness. It doesn't taste like gross adjuncty. It's almost like maybe like a super light honey sweetness or something. Hops, I don't think you get much to speak of. I saw a couple people saying, oh, it's really balanced with the hops. The hops here are an afterthought. If they're there, it's barely to make it slightly bitter, but they're not really super noticeable, to be honest. That's about it. I mean, it's pretty solid beer. For me, this is like if somebody took Coors Light or Keystone Light or whatever your macro light beer favorite is, but then dialed it up a notch to actually give it a little bit of flavor. The flavors work. They're not super strong or pronounced, but they work. They're decent. And if, again, you're trying to avoid sweating to death like I am, this beer would definitely fit the bill. So for me, Outlaw from Tivoli Brewing, Denver, thumbs up. Not bad. Again, it's not something I would drink all the time, but if you're looking for a light beer, this is a heck of a lot better than most of the alternatives out there. So, decent beer. Hopefully you think the video's decent. If so, give me a thumbs up. Hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. And as always, you got any comments or questions, jump in down below. It's starting to get really hot out here in Northwest Ohio. How's it getting where you live? I hope you all don't have 100 every day next week like I'm going to, man. Hey, till next time. Cheers.